likes to get on with it. We did see in that Nepal game, he batted deep and looked to accelerate. So we've seen them play different roles, and in this game, they've been called upon to do something completely different, and that is to try and weigh anchor and just make sure that you get out of jail and then look to accelerate. That has not been allowed by Bangladesh. I mean, that partnership of 40 has been the only one of some substance.
Yeah, and that is something that they'll have to work on in the future. The very right Russian, they needed a different kind of approach. You can't have a gung-ho attitude when you're under pressure right from the word go. Here's the wicket again, but what a superlative delivery that was.
No doubt about it. Take nothing away from the delivery, but I want you to keep an eye on that front foot. Hardly moved. That there was no stride at all, and that was a length that you would expect him to be pushing forward. And the fact that he managed to get it back just made it far more difficult for the batter.
Yeah, you need to get behind the line. Actually, I think he was a little surprised that it jagged back from. He was not quite sure of whether to go forward or back. The length was in that kind of area which puts the seed of doubt on the batter's mind. There you see, just not quite there in terms of actually going forward to meet the ball. So, and it crept through. Even if you're hanging back, you need to keep your bat and pad close together.
That demanded a front foot stroke. So unfortunate that he chose to play from the crease with hardly any stride. Wants a single. This is tight. They get there in the end. But just looking at the Sri Lankan batting lineup, Dinsara. Now Dinsara, who's out there, he's been there for a while. Vimat Dinsara. Now it's time for him to take the ownership and the leadership of the Sri Lankan batting, because he's spent, 53 deliveries. He's taken his time, one boundary, strike rate under 40. These don't matter at this moment. Sri Lanka's objective has to make sure that they bat the 50 overs.
Absolutely. I just waited on that one, guided it. Went past one fielder. The fielding, oh dear, it's all over the place. We've seen a couple of overthrows earlier. That's one area maybe Bangladesh might just try to improve on.
See, one of the thing, Shamim, that impresses me with Bangladesh is that fielding has been good. It's a well-set field, and you could see that when you're under pressure, you just don't find those gaps. You seem to find fielders everywhere, and this is what Bangladesh have done well. The bowlers have backed the captain's plans of bowling one side of the pitch.
Nicely behind that, but not wide enough of the fielder. Yeah, it's just thinking about the approach. You're saying that Dinsara would take that by the scruff of the neck, but he's got to depend on his partner, the new partner, Gamage. Want to just ensure that they have a good understanding. 23 overs done, 77 for 4.
बेफिक्र होकर घूमो, हो सकता है जिंदगी का मकसद मिल जाए। गैरों के साथ बहुत पल बिता लिए, अपनों को छुट्टियों से मिलवाकर तो देखो। जहां भी जाओगे, पर जब लौट के आओगे, सुकून जिंदगी का इसी दरवाजे पर पाओगे। हम हैं गोदरेज लॉक्स, बेजोड़ एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ। घर के अंदर या बाहर, रहो बेफिक्र। गोदरेज लॉक्स।
अब बर्गर किंग में मिले 2 crispy veg burgers at just ₹79 and 2 crispy chicken burgers at just ₹99. See you at Burger King.
Bangladesh this morning. Rafi with the first ball. Took around the corner, thought of a run, not quite there.
Right, it's time to join Fabrice Maharouf. I think he has the head coach, Dilruwan Pereira of Sri Lanka, with him.
Thank you, Roshan. Yes, I have Dilruwan with me. Dilruwan, 77 for 4 after winning the toss and batting first. You happy with the position, or do you think something else could have been done?
At the moment, we lost 1 or 2 extra wickets, but I think we can recover for later.
As far as you're concerned, the message to the boys, pass score of 200, maybe 225 from here onwards?
Yeah, we are thinking about the 200 plus, maybe 220, 210 in this kind of situation.
And the biggest challenge has been the bounce coming from Sarjan. Just had 1 day off yesterday. What sort of a preparation was going on coming into this game?
Yeah, we had practice sessions in the ICC academy, similar to these wickets. Boys know well about this wickets happening in these conditions. Sometimes some players play few bad shots.
And the big question for you now is whether you're happy playing the semi-finals in Dubai or Sharjah. Tricky
Yeah.
one.
Tricky one. The boys played a lot of in Sharjah. I think any condition we need to change. No?
And when it comes to the youngsters of Sri Lanka, the batting lineup, will you be happy with the performance so far?
Yeah, they done really well, and I think everyone needs to get experience. We had a lot of young cricketers. They can play 26 World Cup. Then I hope they get experience of this kind of matches.
Right, Rich, just quickly, you've been a player, you've been a selector, now a coach. What burns your blood even more?
In coaching.
Coaching. You heard it, boys. Back to you in the comment box.
Thank you. Well, that is the completion of over number 24. Sri Lanka are now 82 for 4.
मोहे जब आप तैयार हम तैयार
30 seconds to launch of A18 Pro. Give me a go, no go, neural engine.
Supercharged, go.
GPU.
All 6 cores are go.
Next level gaming, go. Cameras.
Slow-mo in 4K, 120 FPS is go.
93 unclosed browser tabs. We are go for launch. We have liftoff.
To play out the 50 overs, as Roshan Abhisingh was saying, being there in the middle helps your cause so much. I don't think, this is the kind of wicket now after 24 overs that it eased off. Whatever juice it had in the morning, whatever movement it had, that'll benefit the batters.
Yeah, definitely, because when the sun comes out, obviously when I went to the pitch and walking back, there was a fair bit of dew. So there could have been that little wetness of the surface which starts to try and help the bowlers. Moisture that dries out can always be tricky, where the ball starts to kind of hold, it starts to turn, so things start to happen. And with the surface drying out, the ball getting softer, well, obviously it is going to be far more easier for the batter. So that, I think, is the challenge when you decide to bat first in Dubai. You know that you can wait for those situations, you can wait for those conditions, but you need to try and negotiate those first 10 overs. So that is the challenge that Sri Lanka